Alright folks, so the first thing that you need to understand is how the ASCII system works. So ASCII is written like this, and it is used to match integer values to characters. So the first thing that you need to see is the size of the character variable type. Okay, so if I output this, it will give me how many bytes this has. Okay, so let's just build this. Okay, so it's gonna have 1 byte essentially, and that 1 byte equals to 8 bits. Okay, so let's just run this here real quick. So it's 1 byte. Okay, that means 8 bits, and that means that we have 256 different values that we can represent with this, because that's what 2 to the power 8 is going to give us. Okay, so the range that we are going to be using for characters essentially it's 0 to 255. Okay, so let's output now the value that we get for capital A, for example. What is the integer value that we will get for this capital A? Okay, and let's duplicate this 3 more times, and let's add the second line to be capital Z, lowercase a, and lowercase z. Okay, so if we compile and run this, okay, so it's compiling, yeah. So if we run this, we get the values here. So we can see that for the uppercase letters, we have A capital B 65 and uppercase Z being 90. So if I put this in paint here, so here we have 65 for A, and for Z we have 90. Okay, and for the lowercase we have 97 and 122. So 97 for lowercase a, 122 for lowercase z. Okay, so we're gonna use these segments here to make a transition from lowercase to uppercase and vice versa. Okay, so let's go to the program here. Let's just make this. Actually, I'm gonna let these output lines here for you to test if you want. Okay, so in our case, we're just gonna implement like define a string here. Let's call the string, give it a value. So lowercase, lowercase, uppercase. Okay, and let's output to lower of the string x and to upper of the string x. Okay, and what we need here is to just implement these 2 functions essentially. So let's implement to lower first. Gets a string. So what we will be doing is to iterate through the string. So the size of the string will be what we will use to stop. Now we can use these values here to implement an if statement that says if xi is greater or equal to 97, okay, that means that it's a lowercase character. So if it's lower than this, it means that it's an uppercase character. Okay, so in the case that it is an uppercase, we're gonna say xi plus equals 32. Why 32, you ask? Because if we go back here, we will see that to jump, for example, for capital A from 65, okay, so we have 65 for capital A, and we want to go to 97. So 90, let me just type this down here for you. 97 minus 65, that's 32. Okay, so if we add 32 now, we will jump from the uppercase segment to the lowercase segment. Okay, so that's all we need to do is just to add 32 to our character, and that's pretty much it here. That's what we do here, and after this is done, we just return x. Okay, similarly for the to upper function, we're just gonna read the string. We're gonna go through the same for loop here. Okay, And now if it's a lowercase character, so it's greater or equal to 97, what we need to do is to subtract 32 this time. So we need to go back to the uppercase segment, so minus 32 this time. And again, we just return x. So the only difference that these two had is the if statements and whether you add or subtract 32. And that's pretty much it for these functions. Let's just go ahead and run this. So it's building, yeah, it's done. So let's go here in the terminal. And as you can see, it works exactly the way we want it to. So if we want to make this program even more verbose for a user to use abstractly, we can just use arguments. So okay, so we have the character arrays here, okay, and this time we're gonna need to set a format. So the format we will use is the name of the program. So change case, then it's either going to be minus L or minus U. So minus L for lowercase, minus U for uppercase, and then the string, okay? So if argc is not equal to 3, which is what we need, we just output use, and then we just use this line here to tell the user how to use this program. And here, and then we just return essentially, okay? Otherwise, if it's exactly 3, then we use the character arrays. So to get the string x, we just have an empty string here. We use a for loop. We begin from the first character of our character array, sorry. And while argv I, okay, so argv, sorry, the second parameter, okay, so string here, if the ith character does not equal to the end of string character, which is slash backslash 0 here, we're gonna go through all the characters of that character array here, okay? And we just append it to our x variable here. So we just append that specific character, okay? So that's how we read the string. Now let's just check and see what the option is. If strcmp, just to compare here, argv1 with -l, okay, sorry. If that equals to 0, then we just output 2 lower of x and enter. And we can return here. Similarly, we just use strcmp here for argv1 again, and this time we need the option minus u for uppercase equals 0, and then we output 2 upper of x and line and return 0 again, okay? So that these two if statements is all we need. Otherwise, we just tell the user that the parameters are wrong. I have an end line here. And we can also use this line exactly again to tell the user how to use the program. And return here as well. So that's pretty much it for to make it more verbose and to work with arguments. So let's save and let's just compile, okay? So this is compiling, and now if we go ahead and try and use it with arguments, so if I give no argument, it's going to tell me to use it the way I told it to use. So change case minus L, and let's give like multiple characters here, okay? So as you can see, they all go back to lowercase. If we use -u, they all go to upper cases, okay? So that's pretty much it for the video, guys. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel if this helps you, and the code will also be in the description. See you in the next one.